Hello, who are you?
I'm Mika.
Hello, Mika. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Hello, so how's your day been?
It's like a date.
Oh, how exciting.
It's like a video date.
Tell me 3 things about you.
I can cook good tomato sauce. I have a dog. And I'm a pretty obsessive compulsive. I wash my hands a lot. A lot.
Well, good to know, good to know. So, have you been on many dates at the moment?
No, actually not at the moment. Not as many, no, I don't need to at the moment. Let's put it that way.
Oh, okay, you're currently seeing someone?
Yes.
Oh, okay, cool. Do we know this person, or is it a mystery?
No, it's discreet. Which is, as always, if you ever want to have a relationship, the more discreet you keep it in kind of my world, the more chance you have of having it last.
And how long have you been seeing this person for?
A while.
Tell us more, go on.
No. A while now. A while.
Oh, okay, so...
a lot of the record is a result of all that.
Does this person have a name? We don't want surnames.
No, not yet. Not yet. It wouldn't be fair.
It's not Dieter, is it?
No, it's not Dieter. It's far from Dieter. Dieter's, no.
So you went out with Dieter last night? How was that?
Yeah, it was fun. I did. I went on... Well, I have got this little kind of like old banger from the 1960s. It's an Austin Healey. And I never drive it around because it's always raining. And it, unfortunately, because it's not a very high-end vintage car, it kind of stops running when the rain goes. And we were driving around London, and then when we came out, we were kind of swamped and surrounded. And the only thing I could think of when I was sitting in the car, trying to get the car to start, was if this car actually doesn't start and I'm stuck with Dieter Von Teese in a convertible, minute little Morris Minor convertible, it would probably be quite an embarrassing pat moment, but it's cool. You know, I was... Who doesn't want to go pick up Dieter Von Teese in the middle of Soho in a little red car? It's kind of perfect.
Indeed. So did you play any of your music?
Yeah. We may be cooking something up together for one of the songs. Actually.
Oh, okay.
So that's what we were kind of figuring out.
So saying that, how percentage-wise, how complete is the album?
The album's about 90% there now.
Oh, so can I audition for it?
Yeah. You want to be the last 10%? Yeah, it's you're welcome to. What can you do?
So tell us a little bit about the album.
The album's called The Origin of Love, and it's it all started in Montreal, and it's quite a collaborative record between me and Nick Littlemore from Empire of the Sun, who I started the album with. It's extremely joyful. It's kind of love songs that, like non-traditional love songs. It's an alternative pop record fundamentally, and it's full of joy, and it's very honest. My heart is very much on my sleeve in this record, and some of it is really exciting to me. I mean, I kind of feel like I've got an album that I'm really proud of, and believe it or not, that's a really good, like, it doesn't happen that often where you actually sit there and you're like, you know what, some of this stuff is really stuff that I would hold up and just say, this is what I've done, and I just want people to hear it more than anything.
So in mood and tempo, does it vary from the previous 2 albums?
It does vary. I mean, it's so obviously still me, but it's definitely an evolution. I mean, I had a couple things that were very much at the forefront. I wanted to write a record that was joyful, that was mature at the same time. I wanted a record that had a certain lightness of touch in its production. So everything from Celebrate, for example, to the title track, The Origin of Love, has this kind of... it's pop, it's joyful, but it's not kind of like... It's not as frenetic or as hyperactive or attention-seeking, even though it's very kind of catchy and it's still got a lot going on. It just has this lightness to it, which I really love sonically. I think Nick helped me find that.
So I'm in that process as well. You got involved with Madonna, worked on Gang Bang. How did that come about?
I was working with Priscilla Renee, who is a co-writer of mine, and we wrote this song called Bang Bang, and it was full of all the statements that my grandfather used to say, like you know, like a fish out of water, like a bat out of hell, or things like, you may think it's you that I like the most, but I'm just keeping my enemies close. And these are all things that my granddad used to say. Yeah, he was this kind of burly Arab guy who lived in New York. And Madonna heard the song because William Orbit presented it to her, and I didn't know. As far as I was concerned, it was just a song I was writing for myself. And then Madonna liked it, and she recorded her version, and then in the end she adapted it. And I was never in the studio with Madonna. The song got changed, I think, countless times, and in the end it was called Gang Bang. And probably because there were so many people that worked on it, and it's kind of cool. I think it's probably it's my favorite thing off that last record. It's kind of grown up in a weird sort of way. It's got this bitterness about it, which is kind of cool to hear.
Did you hear the finished product when we heard it, or did she send it to you?
I heard the finished product along with everybody else.
So she wasn't asking for your opinion? Or?
She certainly wasn't asking for my opinion. I don't think she was interested.
So going back to your debut album, a lot has changed musically since 2007. How do you feel you've changed as a person?
I think, I've changed tons. I first put out my record, I was in my early 20s. It was a record that was developed while I was at school and at music college in London. And ever since then, I've been on the road. I've been writing more songs. I've been becoming, I got my first job when I was 10, because I was kicked out of school. And I started working in classical music. And so really, I've been working since I was 10, but at the same time, I've never been working as an artist, writing my own material. Finally, I've been doing that now for like 5 years, and yeah, I've changed a lot. I've found a way to be happy.
Yep.
And fundamentally, that's the most important thing when you're a musician. You want to do things that make you happy.
And so a few times in the past, press have asked you about your sexuality, and you said you didn't believe in labels. Did that have anything to do with being unhappy? Do you feel now that you're happy?
Well, that's actually a really good way to put it. I mean, I have this really kind of like strong opinion about when you have like when there's a young artist and the press are kind of chasing, especially some of the kind of hardcore press, are chasing about labels or getting someone to come out or something like that, and really it has to be, each individual is completely different. It's about your own terms, it's about being comfortable in yourself, it's about blooming, and then once you're really happy, isn't that when you want to make those decisions about about being more open with your private life? I certainly am much more happy, and I feel like I've afforded myself a lot of privacy and a lot of discretion over the past 5 years with my life, and I guess now much more than ever before I'm in a far more comfortable place to be a little bit more open about my private life. I write about it now in my songs. The album's called The Origin of Love, and The Origin of Love as a song is kind of like it deals with a lot of my life, my perspective on love, on joy, on sexuality, on the politics of sexuality, and on even like my relationship growing up in a kind of Roman Catholic household.
Yeah.
And so I think that is a much healthier way to approach the kind of the topic of sexuality when it comes to an artist. Deal with it when someone's happy.
So when you played me the album last time, you said that the song had some music had leaked. What are your thoughts on music piracy?
My thoughts on music piracy. Listen, I think there's a balance. Firstly, I used to steal a lot more music than I do now. Now I kind of don't steal anything. I kind of stream a lot of stuff off YouTube, like everybody. I kind of listen to a lot of stuff off Spotify, but inevitably, I think me, like anybody else, I'll buy something once I connect with something. I think the days where you buy something outright before you have a chance to connect with it are kind of over. I think it's unrealistic for anyone to think that's going to happen. So there's so much music, there's so much content nowadays that I just think getting people to hear your music is the most important thing at the beginning of a project. Of course, if someone likes one song, great. If they like 2 songs, great. If they like a little bit more than that, then why not buy the record? That's kind of how I see it. Or even if not buy the record, then come see a show. But definitely be respect the process that goes into making music. And I think that piracy as a kind of outright lifestyle, like just kind of stealing all your TV shows or stealing all your music, kind of doesn't make sense. You don't really get anything back. There's, you want to buy that ticket to go see somebody. You want to be part of someone's kind of process and career legitimately. And so I think, I think that there's definitely, to say that you have to pay for every single time that you discover music, or to say that an advert should be placed in front of every single song when you hear it online, is ludicrous. It's it's just like, for real? It doesn't work like that anymore.
So apart from your music, whose music should we buy this year?
Whose records should you buy this year?
It's fine, you can tweet it at us.
Yeah, you should buy my record this year.
Cool, well thanks for taking the time out to chat.